Good morning, all you beautiful, happy people. Okay, we're gonna give this again, try again for like literally the 10th time. I have had such a hard time trying to get my computers to work or the sound to work, and I have made 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, possibly 9 videos that cut off or didn't record the sound or the battery died, and it's been getting kind of frustrating because I really do want to like follow through with this and make a video every day. And actually last night I probably made 4 videos yesterday and not one of them turned out, and I was like, Josh, I'm talking to my husband, like I almost feel like Satan doesn't want me to make these or to help people. I'm not sure if you believe in Satan or evil, but I do. Even just negative energy, it's like undeniable. You can feel people's energy, but I'll save my weirdness for another day. So today I want to talk about what to do if you think someone you know you love is an addict. Like, how do you approach them? What do you say? And I think you need to approach them the same way you would approach a wolf with its paw in a trap, or a bear, or any animal, a deer in a barbed wire fence. Because when you're an addict in addiction, you feel stuck, literally in a trap, a physical trap by this drug. It traps you. It's so crazy how much it traps you and controls your life, controls everything. And so I think the first thing, like, if you were to see an animal struggling, wouldn't be to be like, wow, you got yourself in a bad situation. What were you doing to get yourself there? What did you do? Why'd you step on that trap? Like, not the best thing to say. Probably something like, you must be having a really hard time. The first thing also I wanted to mention is I wouldn't even ask them if they're using. They're not going to tell you the truth usually. I mean, sometimes they will, but don't ask them if are you using? When's the last time you used? How much do you use? Don't ask them. They're going to get all those questions when they get into rehab. Like in the intake, 1,000 times they're going to be answering, and they're going to be honest usually, because the medication that the doctors are going to give them is based on what they use and how much they use. So leave the grilling to the professionals. Like, it's not your job. Your job is just to love them and to be there if they want help. If they don't, there's nothing you can do except love them. So I wouldn't even ask. Like, you can typically see in someone's spirit and in their countenance if they're using. There's no light in a person who's an addict. Drugs just suck the life out of you. And the light, you can tell. Usually your intuition is right. If you really, truly think someone is using and you can see it in their face, I think that's I can look at someone typically, and I mean, you've all seen those people, no judgment, but like, I could even look in the mirror when I was using and tell. So get past the grilling, okay? And just to the loving and the supporting. And also to keep in mind is, why is this person using? Because typically people don't use drugs or drink a lot for fun. Maybe in the beginning, but it's not fun. I can't tell you what a hellish life it is. And so, what's the why? Why? What's the deeper meaning of the problem that's creating the usage? You know, what pain? For me, it was 100% just trying to cover the pain I was feeling in my life. Like, it was bad. I honestly at the time thought I had no other option but to kill myself. So for me, I made a decision, like, kill myself, die of a broken heart, or numb the pain. And at least if I numb it, I can recover. And then maybe someday I can help others recover. Like, I remember that the first time before I took a drink, that was my first usage and down that rabbit hole. So, the next thing I want to talk about is how you get them into rehab, especially if they want to go, if they ask, or they're ready. So, this is my personal advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional. I am a professional at rehab, though. Actually, I've been through thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of rehab and therapy and EMDR and cognitive behavioral therapy and art therapy and equestrian therapy and dog therapy and eye movement and brain spotting and group therapy. I mean, literally probably thousands of hours in therapies with different groups of people talking, listening, and then also one-on-one with a counselor. You know, in rehab you have sessions with a therapist a few times a week, typically. Also ice baths, sweat lodges, music therapy, drum therapy. Like, seriously, I've probably haven't done electric shock therapy, so okay, I've got to get to the point. The point for this one is to figure out how to help get them in rehab. And I suggest, if it's an adult, okay, different. If it's a teenager and they're young and they're in your house, you might want to do an intervention, right? But with adults, I want you to consider the possibility of talking to the person and coming up with a plan and helping them prepare for rehab. Because going to rehab is not easy. I heard this study, probably in one of my rehabs or therapies, that like 90% of addicts would like to quit, but they're too scared of the detox phase. And that's probably true. I mean, the detox phase is so terrifying, and rightly so, because it is horrible. It is horrible. I'm 47 years old. I've been to the emergency room once in my life, well, for myself, and it was during a detox because I was so dehydrated. I could not keep anything down for like 2 days. I was just dry heaving constant. It was so horrible. So the point is that getting clean is really hard, and it's really stressful. It's hard physically, emotionally, and when you're getting ready to face the reality of getting clean, it's really stressful. And it's easier if you can prepare for a few days. So every time I relapsed and I got fed up with being an addict, I would call my brother, bless his heart, and he would come up to my house and he would help me get ready. Sometimes it was 2 days, 3. He was with me for 2 weeks one time. 2 weeks he stayed with me, helping me get my house ready, my yard, the dogs, the kids, everything for me to go into rehab. It also took, I think, like a week to find a place for me to go. But bless his heart, he couldn't have done a better job at how he worked with me and loved me and supported me. And also, oh my, it keeps going out. I'm like, if this quits again. Also, this might be controversial, but he knew I was using that whole time, like, because I couldn't handle, like, stopping using and then detoxing and then going into rehab at the same time. It was like too much. It was like, no, I've got to keep using while I'm packing and getting things ready, and when I get to the detox center, then I'll deal with it. It was just, for me, it was really hard. I did end up one time, like, running out of stuff before, like 2 days before I could get in, and those were probably the worst. I've been the sickest in my entire life. And going into rehab was so hard. It was a nightmare. It was so much easier to be mentally prepared and not sick at the same time as going into rehab. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Like, the easier you can make it, the better. I went, so one rehab I went to, there was a lot of firemen, veterans, policemen. Man, those people have seen a lot of stuff. I mean, there's stories that I will, like, never repeat. They have a lot of traumas. And it's really good that they're starting to recognize that and provide help in those centers. Like I've heard, like, the firemen, they now have, like, therapists for their fire stations and stuff. But there was a gentleman in this rehab. He was probably older, maybe 50, and he had his life put together. He was a great guy. He was like the chief of the fire. I don't know the terms, but of their fire crew, and he had helped with 9/11. He was there, like, on scene, and had trauma from that. But he wasn't a drug addict. He was a alcoholic, and it wasn't like he couldn't function. I mean, he had his job, he went to work, but then after work, from basically between one shift to the next, like 4 days on, 4 days off, he would just drink the whole time. And but he was a good, honorable guy with his life pretty much, like, put together besides the alcohol. And one day his family, his wife and parents, I'm not sure, everyone just like kind of surrounded him, and he felt very like jumped on, and they were like, "You're going to rehab, we're getting in the car right now, we're going to the airport." And he was pissed. Like, he had this really important meeting the next day, and I get it. I'm sure that his wife and family was trying to do the best they could, but with a grown adult, I don't think that's the best way to approach it. Obviously, every situation is different, but consider the possibility of talking to the person and coming up with a plan of when they will go. What do you need to do to get ready? What can I help you to do to get ready? And the sad thing is, he was very resentful the whole time. He was there for 30 days, and he was so angry with his wife and his family. I think he ended up getting a divorce after. He was so mad. Like, he felt totally betrayed, and rightly so. And he was so focused on it the whole time in rehab that he didn't get out of it what he could have if he had had even 24 hours or 48 hours to prepare. Like, hey, you've got 2 days. And he was like, if they had just come to me and talked to me, I would have gone. I would have gone. And, that's the case. I mean, it was with me. I said I would go, and I went. Every time I said I would go. Sometimes I missed, like, there was one time I missed a flight. Oh, my poor brother. But we found another one. So I would say, before any, like, jumping on this person and an intervention, consider talking to them first and coming up with a plan together. Because they're the ones who have to go. You're not the one who has to go if you're the one helping them, So, those are my thoughts for today. And I also thought, just for fun, I'm trying to do painting a day. I'm kind of an artist just on the side, but I thought it'd be fun to share the artwork that I paint every day, because I'm trying to do one, like at least one a day. And I've been working in watercolors lately, which I love. My son has this tattoo, and I painted it for him. It's for his birthday. I gotta mail it to him. I'm late, but better late than never. All right, have a beautiful day. I gotta go to work, and if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. I'd love to know if you guys are here, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to hear, what you want to learn. Let me know. Have a great day. Bye.